When it comes to wireless earbuds with active noise cancellation, you have plenty of options to choose from, and the latest is the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro. Hey everyone, my name is Lexi and I love wireless earbuds. Now I've been using the Galaxy Buds Pro for about a week, and I thought it would be fun to compare them to Apple's AirPods Pro, which I've been using for a lot longer. In this video, I'm going to compare them on everything from design to fit to how they perform, battery life, and of course, sound quality. So let's get started. The first thing you probably need to know about these two earbuds is the price. Now, the AirPods Pro are around $250 US. That's their full retail price, whereas the Galaxy Buds Pro are around $50 cheaper, around $200 US. So that's the first thing to bear in mind when comparing these two. The second thing is ecosystem. Now, I've been testing Samsung Galaxy Buds for a long time, and this is actually the first generation in which I believe that your ecosystem or the phone that you use actually plays a really big choice in which buds is the right one for you. So the first time in a long time, if you own a Galaxy device or an Android device, the Buds Pro are probably going to be your best bet, whereas if you're on an iPhone or iOS, it's going to be the AirPods Pro. So with that in mind, let's dive into design. These two earbuds couldn't be any more different in terms of design if they tried. The AirPods Pro sit in your ear like the Buds Pro. However, there is a stem that sticks down from your ear and you can use it to change between tracks, turn on and off active noise cancellation and transparency mode, and so on. The Buds Pro are a complete bud design. There's no part that really sticks down from your ear, although it does protrude out a little bit more, and they are a little bit heavier in my ear than the AirPods Pro. Now, it has a touch panel on the side that you can do pretty much the same things on the AirPods Pro, except you're tapping instead of clicking the stem. You can do things like skip back and forth between tracks, your voice assistant and noise cancellation, and so on. So pretty similar in that regard in terms of controls. As you can probably see on the AirPods Pro, I have changed out the default silicone ear tips, of which there are 3 sizes, to foam ear tips. I actually find that these ones actually just give me a bit more of a secure fit in the ear, because I did find that they were always falling out when I was doing something active like running or moving around. They would just drop out of my ear. So the foam tips actually provide a much more secure fit. I definitely recommend looking into third-party foam tips if you have similar issues with the AirPods Pro. Now, the Buds Pro are different to any other Samsung buds that I've tested before in terms of the actual bud shape itself of that tip around it is an oval instead of a circle. So this might make a difference in how it fits in your ear. In my ear, they don't fit as securely as previous Samsung Galaxy Buds, such as the Buds Plus, although I am looking forward to trying some different third-party tips with these as well to see if I can improve the fit. And like the AirPods Pro, there are 3 different tip sizes that come in the box, so you can plug and play and choose the ones that fit to your liking. There aren't any wingtips though, however, which is kind of annoying because the Galaxy Buds Plus really fit really well and snugly in my ears, and these ones don't stay in as well for things like working out. However, your mileage will vary. I just have really strange, really small ears. Now let's talk about water resistance. This one is very different on the two. The Buds Pro are rated IPX7. Now this means essentially they are water resistant or waterproof, I guess you could say, up to 30 minutes in 3 feet of fresh water. So you could theoretically use these to swim with, and I know a lot of people do like to try and listen to music while they swim. I haven't tried swimming with these because it's really cold, but I am going to try and do a bit of a water test with them, maybe put them through the washing machine for 30 minutes, see how they last. That one is going to be fun to do. Now, the AirPods Pro, by contrast, are only rated IPX4, so this means they're able to withstand some splashes and some sweat, obviously, but not as water resistant as the Buds Pro. And lastly, color options. You get 3 on the Galaxy Buds Pro. So you either have black, silver, or a purple called Phantom color, don't know why. And the AirPods Pro are available only in white. Kind of like putting the black tips on the white AirPods because it kind of makes it look a little cooler, and you know, it's like Panda versus Phantom. Sounds kind of neat. Okay, let's talk about sound quality, because that to me is the most important part in determining which wireless earbud is the right one for my application. So let's start with the AirPods Pro. Now, if you've watched any of my previous comparisons with the AirPods Pro or any of my AirPods Pro videos, you'll know that I think that they have a fairly balanced sound profile, but it's not that exciting. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to let's turn it into transparency mode so I can actually hear myself. Great. So I'm gonna actually listen to my playlist that I usually use to test wireless earbuds. Let you know what they sound like. Okay. All right. So the first one I always like to listen to is Childish Gambino's Redbone. I like that pumping bass, a great beat. Okay, AirPods Pro. It's really balanced. So what is happening is that the bass is not too prominent. You know, that kick at the start, it's nice, but it's not like that big thump that you get on some other wireless earbuds. It sounds good. It's very balanced. The mids and trebles are also really well defined, but it's not super exciting. It's good. I love this tune. Okay, so it sounds really nicely defined, but not exciting. And that adaptive equalizer that the AirPods Pro comes with is basically changing the sound profile based on a number of different variables, like the shape of your ears. Now, there is an equalizer that you can change the settings with the AirPods Pro on Apple Music, or you can also change it in Spotify, but there isn't kind of like a universal equalizer for the AirPods Pro, which is something that I really like. The Buds Pro do have that. So let's switch over and listen to the Buds Pro. All right, listening to the Galaxy Buds Pro now. Again, with the ambient sound on, so I'm not shouting at you. All right, let's listen to the playlist again. Take a listen. Okay, first thing I notice is that bass right off the top, that drum hit, it's so deep. Like, it really, really sounds much more prominent and in your face. I really like a big heavy bass on my earbuds. Well, not too heavy, but you know, heavy, so it actually makes an impact with what I'm listening to. These sound a lot more exciting and definitely much more warm and rich. Like, those mids and trebles really do fill the space really well. I do think that these are the best sounding Samsung earbuds that I've heard, at least. I really do like the sound profile, and that's just on the default settings. On the equalizer, you can also change it to a bass boost, which I really like the most actually. Soft, dynamic, clear, and treble boost. So you do have a couple different options to choose from. Yeah, like, it's just really nice to listen to music on these. But that said, I think the most balanced for me is the AirPods Pro when it comes to doing things like jumping between calls and listening to podcasts, just because it's much more neutral and even, whereas these ones probably a little bit too more booming on calls. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I do prefer using the AirPods Pro as a daily driver, and these ones for music. Just gonna be here for a while jamming out. Now, active noise cancellation is a key reason why you would buy one of these two earbuds, and it's very effective on both. Now, obviously, because I haven't been able to use the Buds Pro to do things like travel on an airplane or commuting like I have previously with the AirPods Pro, I wasn't able to test them side by side in that environment, but I was able to recreate a noisy white noise with an overhead fan and also a heating system and listen to them both side by side. Now, I do have to say that the AirPods Pro for me just edged out the Galaxy Buds Pro, but just by a very small margin. Still, both of them are excellent and you shouldn't have any complaints when it comes to ANC at all. But I did find that I really like that kind of thwomp effect of the AirPods Pro when the ANC kicks in. Just doesn't have that wow factor for me on the Buds Pro either. And there also is, to my very sensitive ears, a tiny little bit of a hiss when the ANC is active on the Buds Pro, whereas I can't hear that on the AirPods Pro. Now, transparency mode or ambient sound mode. Now, this pipes in external sound so you are more aware of your surroundings, whether that's something like a crying baby or street traffic. Now, again, both of these are pretty effective. I have to say Apple does probably the best job of any transparency or ambient sound mode on any of the wireless earbuds that I have tried. It just sounds super natural and you don't have to tweak any settings to get it to sound pretty much perfect. Now, the ambient noise on the Galaxy Buds Pro, you can actually change the volume level of it, so it can be either high, medium, or low, and that I actually found was super helpful But that being said, don't do what I did, which was walk outside on a beautiful day just to go for a walk with the settings still on high because I was indoors. I walked up to the traffic lights with a stream of traffic and I almost deafened myself because it was so loud and I didn't realize that I still had it on high. But the one trick that the Buds Pro does have up its sleeve that the AirPods doesn't, and I really think this is a fantastic feature, is voice detection. So if you're listening to music and you want to have a quick conversation with someone, but you don't want to either take the bud out of your ear, fumble around for your phone, switch to transparency mode, tap the bud, whatever have you, what you can do is just start talking and the buds will detect when you're actually speaking and moving your mouth. And so then the music kind of ducks and it goes into that ambient sound mode, the volume goes down. It's super effective and I absolutely love that feature. It was so helpful for me when I just didn't want to have to quickly like pull one out of my ear. Again, don't do what I did. And if you sing along to your music a lot at home, this feature will turn on when you are singing along to your favorite song. So yeah, I did it. And then it was kind of like a very sad karaoke session when I realized what was happening because the music stopped and I was still singing. Okay, mic sample time. This is the Galaxy Buds Pro. As you can see, I am recording audio from the microphone into Pro Video mode on the Note 20 Ultra. Not the S21 Ultra yet, that's coming soon. But for the time being, it's exactly the same functionality. So you can take a listen to what the microphones sound like. As you can see, I'm in exactly the same position, just without the lavalier mic, just with the microphone from the Buds. When I was using these, callers remarked that my voice kind of sounded a little bit more close and a little bit louder than that on the AirPods Pro. And again, on the AirPods Pro, this time on the iPhone 12 Pro and recording through Filmic Pro, not the default camera app on the iPhone. So take a listen. Again, exactly the same situation. You can hear which microphone you prefer the most. I think for me, in terms of calls, I really did think the experience was almost exactly the same in terms of listening with active noise cancellation on and taking calls. It was just super immersive and they both sounded great. Now let's talk about features of both of these earbuds. Now, as I said at the start, this is the first time that Samsung has really made the Buds Pro specifically designed for Galaxy or Android devices, as opposed to having compatibility with the iOS version of the Galaxy wearable app. You can pair them to an iPhone if you do have the Galaxy Buds Pro, but you just don't get that compatibility with the app, or at least not at the time of writing, just so you can't change the controls to your liking. They're just like a regular pair of Bluetooth earbuds. Now, both of these earbuds do have spatial audio effects, which gives you a virtual surround sound experience. It is called spatial audio on the AirPods Pro or 360 audio on the Buds Pro. Now, it's available on iOS 14 devices and later if you're using the AirPods Pro, and currently only on Galaxy S21 devices on the Buds Pro. Now, I did test both of them and I used the same movie on HBO Max. I really thought the effect was great. I did think though that the AirPods Pro just sounded a little bit more natural for me when I was moving my head around to get that virtual surround experience. Now, both of these buds also have a quick switching feature to quickly go between different devices. If you are signed into the Samsung account across a bunch of different Samsung or Galaxy devices, and also your Apple ID on a bunch of different iOS devices. They also have voice assistant and can read messages aloud in your ear if you like that. It is Siri on the AirPods Pro and Bixby on the Galaxy Buds Pro. Unfortunately, there isn't Google Assistant support yet at the time of recording this on the Buds Pro in terms of activating it with your voice through the earbuds. If you do want to summon it, you can just do your long press and touch commands on the buds, but no voice activation like there is with Siri on the AirPods Pro. Now, both of the buds you can also find on a map if you do lose them. The AirPods Pro, it is in Find My, and the Galaxy Buds Pro, it is in the Smart Things app. And you can also use both of these buds independently. So for example, if you wanted to take a call on one of the earbuds and you can put one back in the case to keep charging, that is possible. So that is a great feature that both of them share. Both of these buds also automatically connect to the device that you have them paired with pretty seamlessly. The interface does look very similar between the two, but anyway, Both of them have pretty solid connectivity. I don't really have any major issues to report there on either of them. I would say though that the H1 chip on the AirPods Pro does seem to be just a little bit more stable overall, and the range just anecdotally in my testing does seem to go a little bit further than the Buds Pro. And finally, battery life. Now, the Galaxy Buds Pro do not last as long as some of the previous Samsung Galaxy Buds you might be familiar with, like the Buds Plus, which was some sort of crazy number, like 11 hours. I remember testing them, and honestly, I just couldn't do enough in my day and wear them long enough to wear them out. So you're not gonna get anywhere near close to 11 hours with these. It is gonna be 5 hours maximum with ANC turned on. That's the Samsung quoted number, and a little bit more without active noise cancellation. Unfortunately, I didn't quite ever manage to get to that 5 hours constant listening with active noise cancellation. It was more like 4.5 at the most. So I think I was a little bit disappointed overall with the overall ANC claims, at least on the Buds Pro. Now the AirPods Pro, these ones are rated around 4.5 to 5 hours from Apple's official rating, and brand new straight out of the box, the AirPods Pro definitely meet that claim, even though I've had these now for about a year, and that battery life overall in terms of the overall stretch I can wear them for has been reduced to around 4 hours, just a little bit under I would say, which is fairly standard in terms of normal battery degradation. Now the cases themselves also hold some extra charge. It's 24 hours total in the AirPods Pro case, and also 18 hours on the Buds Pro. And both of the cases wirelessly charge, as you would expect. And in terms of corded charging, it is Lightning on the AirPods Pro and USB-C on the Buds Pro. Okay, now it comes down to the time where I get to choose a winner and get to decide which one is the best overall earbuds. Okay, as I mentioned at the start, I kind of spoiled the video, but hopefully if you've made it this far, it has actually showed you how similar and how different they both are in terms of things that you might actually want to use them for. So if you're looking for something that's the most robust overall earbud for iPhone, just get the AirPods Pro. If you want something that has really good active noise cancellation and you have a Samsung Galaxy device, to get the most out of all those features, including the 360 audio, then get the Buds Pro. I think overall, the one that I would lean towards most is the AirPods Pro, just because the fit is a little bit better for me with those third-party ear tips, and also the battery life is a bit more reliable than what I was getting out of the Galaxy Buds Pro. But again, if I'm on a Galaxy device or I'm running Android, I'm gonna choose these for my listening. And if I'm on iPhone or iOS, I'm gonna choose the AirPods Pro. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been super helpful for you. If you want to check out like latest prices or where you can buy these particular earbuds, you can find those links in the description below. And you can also follow me on your favorite social media platform, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on everything. It's at Lexy Savvides. You can ask me any questions you like about either of these products or any other wireless earbuds, or you can leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching and see you later.